The Maw revamped.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us jump into the Maw.
Yes, right.
Is that what the goose?
What the hell is this? Hold on.
What the hell?
Cheese?
He's just getting picked up. He's gonna die. Where are we going? This that fight the devil? Yeah, I don't know about
Recently,
that.
Blizzard said that they have done a big update to the Maw, a combat
That's
overhaul,
good.
as it was described.
Awesome.
So we've delved in.
Sounds good to
with
me.
you guys. I've done 2 days. That's more than enough for me to assess what's going on with the Maw and give you your feedback, especially with your biggest concern, which is alts and how this is going to affect them. Because the Maw is turning into the grind. That's what the Maw is becoming. It's turning into the Anima grind, the Azerite power grind. It's kind of coming from there, but it's not quite as effective or as impactful as those grinds were. So don't panic just yet. Let's start with what they've changed. So we did cover that they've added a number of new items to...
Someone said Preach, whenever he was getting pulled up into the air, was getting Anduined. I don't know why. I thought that shit was fucking funny. I read that in chat. That shit was fucking good, dude.
Venari is a wonderful character that you're going to see in the Maw. Venari has a staging ground for the Maw where you are immune to the Eye of the Jailer. The Eye of the Jailer
it's like
is
the sanctuary
daily
zone.
Restriction on how long you can
pretty
stay
simple.
in the Maw. It has 5 levels, and at level 5, you're going to essentially be killed by the Jailer. It's unavoidable. You get a stacking debuff that constantly takes more and more health, so you do get a bit of leeway with this. Once you hit level 5, it takes about 3 minutes for it to build up before it starts actually damaging you. Then it takes time to actually get to the point where it's going to be deadly. This is more than enough time for you to get out.
I think this mechanic's stupid. Like, it sounds cool, but I just don't think that I think it's stupid. Am I the only person that feels that way? Like, I think it is. Yeah, this is like 5 stars, exactly.
Of the Maw, and you're probably going to want to do that because when you die, you lose some of your currency, similar to Dark Souls. It's called Stygia. Every time you die in the Maw, you drop some Stygia. Now, they have reduced this. It used to be half your Stygia, which is very expensive. Now you tend to drop about 17 Stygia, and if you get back to your corpse, you can loot it and get it back. Nobody else seems to be able to take it from you, which is good news.
That's cool. I like that.
If you do get back to your corpse, you can reclaim it. Obviously, at level 5, getting back to your corpse is good.
Yeah, it's like Dark Souls, exactly. I think that's fine. It seems cool. Yeah, it's an interesting little mechanic. Why not?
Going to be far more difficult.
What's wrong with that?
At the moment, it does reset this level 5 Jailer debuff once you die and get resurrected again, so you do have a chance of getting it back, although this should be your warning. You hit level 5, it's time to leave, and that, at the moment, is a daily reset. Now, I truly hope they turn this into a weekly reset. It would make what we're about to talk about a
weekly reset.
To swallow, if I'm being honest.
A weekly reset for the Eye of the Jailer. Okay, all right. I don't know about that. We'll see what he says.
With you. Why do you want to go to the Maw? That's the big question. So we kind of had to mention that the Maw didn't receive much coverage from me or anyone else over the course of the alpha and the beta. And why? There's nothing there. It's bare bones. It's empty. And it looked to us as just unfinished. And given the amount of work Blizzard needs to do with the Shadowlands, that was fine. They didn't have time to really flesh out the Maw yet. So, okay, that's cool. There was no real reason to go there in the first place. Everything's good. But now they've started to put stuff in the Maw. They want the Maw to be a place you visit. It is, after all, your end game zone. It's where the Jailer resides. It's where Torghast is. They want it to matter. So in order to very quickly and kind of shoehorn in a reason to get there, one of the things they've added, of course, is the ability to add gem slots to your gear. Similar to what you have with Visions now, where you can get the eyes, and if you've got a piece of ungem slot
I think
gear,
that's
you can
cool.
add a gem slot to it. They have put that...
What do you guys think about the gem slots? You guys like that, right? I think that's cool. I'm a big fan of the gem slots from gear. Yeah, the thing is, it is kind of bad for alts. That's the other thing. I don't know. I can see why you guys don't like it for alts. That does make sense. But I think for a main character, that is pretty cool. Depends on the time gating. It's like an endless grind. Well, at least there's like a reason to do it, man. I would say it's a good thing. I'm positive towards this idea.
In the Maw. It costs 2,500 Stygia. How much is that? On average, you're going to get somewhere between 400 to 500 per day, so it's not a big deal. That's before the Jailer does kick you out. On top of that, they've added quite a number of items, and these are, interestingly, permanent upgrades to that character. These are things that will grant you more powers that you get to choose from within Torghast.
Wow.
Certain things won't affect you as much inside Torghast. There are lots of them that affect you only in
Dude, they need to make these account-wide. Like, if they don't make these account wide, oh my god, it's gonna be such a pain in the fucking dick, dude. Like, imagine if you had to do this on, like, every character. Oh, it would be so fucking annoying. They won't be. They should be, though. That's what I think. If this is every account wide, it's great. I think it's cool, but, like, fuck, dude. Every character would be way too much.
But
it sounds
there are
awesome.
Then some that allow you to ignore some of the effects of Eye of the Jailer.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it gets a little interesting, because in order to really make this kind of pop, they've made some of the affixes, one in particular, ludicrously obnoxious. And I pray to God it does not go live this way.
What?
As you level up through the maw, through your daily visit, at level 1, these eyes will start spotting you. And these eyes travel around the maw, and they will spot you from a good long way away once you hit level 1, and they will start casting spells at you. Now, they have a number of spells, and one in particular, the Devastation Beam, will just kill you if you don't interrupt it or stop it in some way.
Wow.
They're actually quite dangerous. That's something to bear in mind.
Okay.
At level 2, you're going to start being bombarded by the towers. So this will be a ground effect that you'll see, a white swirly, and if you stand in it, you're going to be pinned to the floor until you click all the pins out of the floor so you can continue moving.
That just sounds
Super
fucking
easy to
annoying.
avoid,
Yeah, it just sounds fucking annoying,
don't worry
dude.
about it too much. At level 3, you're going to start getting the assassins. Now, this is cool as well. It gives you a warning to say you are being hunted. The next time you enter combat, an assassin will appear. They're relatively strong, often stronger than the mob you would have been engaging normally, so this is something you want to be aware of. But it does give you a nice heads up to say, hey, next time you get in combat, an assassin's going to come. Maybe pick something relatively weak so you can get the assassin out of the way without risking dying and losing some of your Stygian.
That's kind of interesting.
Level 4, though, they've reworked. Previously at level 4, you would get...
I feel like they're trying really hard to make this work. And I worry that they're gonna do what they did. I think what they did with Covenants is they spend so much time trying to make this work that it takes away time from actually just making other systems just functional.
Elite assassins.
What's level 4?
Just slightly more dangerous. Sometimes it's just 2 assassins, which you could deal with no problem. This time they've added the Stygian Abductor. I hate this thing so much. I can't even express to you how much I hate this thing. Every 2.5 minutes, you are going to be snatched. Now, you can't seemingly immune this. You can't do anything to prevent it happening unless, even if you're in a cave, it comes through the cave and it will drag you through the ceiling of the cave.
What?
What happens is the Stygian Abductor will swoop down from the skies. He will grab your character, and then he will ever so slowly drag you up into the sky. This CCs you.
So this is... You're getting yoinked, man. You're getting Anduined. Exactly. It sounds annoying. Yeah, this is really fucking annoying. Oh my god. This is actually brutal. Yeah, what the fuck, man? This is actually... It's kind of funny, though.
Your character for about 40 seconds. It's the least amount of fun you can possibly have ever. It sucks. Once you've reached the top, it's going to throw you. Now, at the moment, it says you get debuffed with an effect that should silence and pacify you. This means you should not be able to cast things like Slowfall, Ice Block. You should not be able to use Goblin Gliders. You should not be able to disengage.
Just stuck.
You should not be able to do anything to prevent your death, because it's going to just drop you on the floor from extreme height and you're going to die. That is what this thing is designed to do. So yes, at the moment, every 2.5 minutes, this is going to kill you. Now, right now...
That sucks. Like, that just sucks. Like, you just sit there. It's the worst thing about it. It's like whenever you're playing a game and you're just like, you get hit by a boss, and then the boss like staggers your character, and then the boss just keeps hitting you and you can't move. Like, whenever the control is taken away from your character and you can't fucking do anything and you're just getting stuck and getting fucked and you can just slowly feel it happening. Yeah, it's like in New World whenever you get stunlocked by a fucking hatchet. Or like in Dark Souls whenever you get comboed by a boss and it just kills you. It sucks, man. Like, that gameplay and that mechanic is so fucking bad. Like, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. Time gating? I don't know what it is. This is trash. I don't know why they would do that. It'd be so much better if it was just way faster. Well, it'd be better if you could do something about it, right? It's like, make it to where like you can at least fight it off. And that way, whenever you fight it off, like if you get all the way, they should make it to where like you have to fight it off. And if you do fight it off, you can drop down and you're not silenced. That'd be way cooler.
This debuff doesn't work, so I have to wonder whether or not they're thinking of just not having this debuff. I could disengage, I could goblin
That'd be trash if they don't have the debuff, right? Because like some classes don't have a way to get rid of that. It's like, for example, if you're a DK, you go like this. You're dead. And so that kind of sucks if you're a DK. You know what I mean? And like also, like, let's say you're a warrior and you go down and you're right here and you're getting ready to heroic leap. No target available. Oh shit, no path available. Oh god, and you're dead. So that's the thing. Is like you've got all these other fucking things and you just die. It happens to me all the time. Yeah, what are shamans gonna do? Oh, I know, they can go into Ghost Wolf and maybe the fur will make them fall slower. And oh, I know how shamans can deal with the fall damage. They onk after it kills them. Yeah, problem solved.
I could do all kinds of things to prevent my death. It was actually just really inconvenient. If this thing goes live when it does pacify you, without being a little tricky, like ice blocking,
it just doesn't seem fun to me, man. It doesn't at all.
There's a very high chance
like it
that every
sucks.
2.5 minutes this thing is just going to straight up kill you.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. Now, even if they don't allow that, this still doesn't fix the issues I have with the Stygian Abductor. It drags you so high that you drop out of combat with whatever you were in at the time. That means if you're killing a rare, which some of them have extreme amounts of health and take longer than 2.5 minutes to kill, you're going to be dragged up and lose your tag with that boss. That's it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Wait, so you can't kill the rares because these things just CC you and pull you up into the air? And even if you come back and it takes too long, it'll just do it again and reset the fight over and over? What the fuck? Like, did anybody play this? Like, who? These are kind of like the features. I'm like, who played this? Who went through this and is like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to see. Yeah, right. That's so crazy, man. I'm going to unsub if Shadowlands is shit. It's not going to be shit. This is just like one bad mechanic. They're going to fix it, right? But in order for them to fix it, we have to complain about it. Like, because if we don't complain about it, they're like, oh, well, you know, if they didn't like it, they'd have told us. But that's like 3 people on the forums. You got to tell them. You have to tell them that it's not good.
Oh, I was lucky. If somebody else is keeping it in combat and it doesn't die while you're in the air, then you can get back down. And I could disengage, which you might not be able to do.
It's a lot of work, though.
Once this thing goes live, and then get re-in
It's a lot of work.
But sometimes I was fighting an enemy for like 7 minutes, which means I was being abducted multiple times over the course of combat with this enemy. It's ludicrously unfun. However, this is where I guess your personal preference.
That actually just sucks. Like, I'm just imagining, we don't want degenerate gameplay. Here's how the mall works. Yeah, it's crazy. It meant to be a gotcha moment with that new added level of difficulty. Well, it's a matter of like, it's the level of control that your character doesn't have. I genuinely think that mechanics that remove control away from the player are bad on a general level, right? I'm not saying that you shouldn't have any CC, but generally, whenever a player loses control of their character, that is bad. That is whenever they stop having fun. Because at that point, their own ability to do anything, even though it might have initially been their fault, they now have lost control over the game. And that is not fun, man. It is not fun. So no CC, what it take? You heard me say that. God. We're going to watch the rest of the video.
Difference kind of comes into play. They have put in on Venari items that you can buy with Stygia which permanently grant you a character an upgrade to prevent the Stygian Abductor from getting you, as well as...
What does it do? Does it make your character fat so you can't pick it up? It's like the Culturian upgrade. It's like, yeah, you upgrade your character to Culturian. It's like, basically, you have to buy 500 hot dogs from Venari, obtain the Glizzy Guzzler title, and then you'll be too fat for the abductors to pick you up. That actually makes perfect sense. I should send that to Blizzard. I love it.
A number of the other affixes that the jailer puts on you.
Yeah.
How do you access them? It's a rep grind. That's really what the Maw is. It's a rep grind with Venari. As you do more and more tasks and more daily quests, you'll get some reputation, and eventually Venari's going to like you, unlock more items similar to any other rep grinding.
Yeah, dude.
Which prevent you from having to deal with these things. So here's my personal issue with this. I really am never a fan of purposely hamstringing or debilitating the player and then offering the solution later. So we take a player, we move them 4 steps back so we can offer an item later which just moves them straight back to where they were. And that's what this is. You're going to be...
yeah, so we're basically... so we're going to give you an ankle weight. And then you have to play the game for us to take it off. Are you having fun now? Yeah, we're going to give you a blindfold. It's like, what the fuck, dude? You gonna stream it? Probably, yeah.
Abducted, do all these things until you get the rep to just no longer have that happen.
Fuck, dude?
And that's like the monumental upgrade. Now, some people have spoke to sell it felt quite satisfying to have to put up with this tedious nonsense until they could then get the upgrade and then they could get past it. And they were okay with it. Other players, like myself, just think that this is just obnoxious. It's not fun. Being CC'd every 2.5 minutes for 40 seconds isn't interesting or fun. And certainly if it comes down to the fact that this kills your character,
of course it does.
I'm not into it whatsoever. So
yeah, of course
let's move
it
on
does.
to the alt things. That's how the Eye of the Jailer works. That's the counters and how you can deal with it, and the reputation grind associated with it.
Right.
What about these sockets then? Does this mean that this is mandatory content? Well, it depends, of course, as we've spoke to many times recently, how you play World of Warcraft.
Right.
If you are somebody who is performance-minded and it matters that your character can perform at an extra 1% DPS, 1% healing, 1% tanking, yeah, this has just become your new grind. And I'm sorry about that, but there's nothing I can do. And it's likely, given the fact that it gives gem slots and our gear refreshes every tier.
You have to do it. Like, the Maw is going to be a required step in the gameplay loop for Shadowlands. It's going to be like Visions, probably. Like, the Maw is going to effectively be Visions. You're going to have to, actually, Torghast is going to effectively be Visions. That's not true. But it's going to effectively be like, I don't know, like your daily zone or something like that. And Visions were fine. Like, Visions were really fun. The problem with Visions is you had to do 1 million of them at the end. Like, to get all of the sockets and everything. It was just too much time invested into doing the exact same thing over and over. The beginning progress of getting all of the cloak unlocks and all of the tech tree unlocked, I don't know. I thought that was cool. So I don't have anything bad to say about that at all. But whenever you talk about the other stuff that's happening, yeah, I mean, I don't like that at all. Like, after that, like, after you get the tech tree unlocked, your 4th run after you have everything unlocked, it's just going to be fucking boring. Visions were never fun? I disagree.
It's likely to be a long one too. It's likely to go on.
I think they were fun
so
at the
you
beginning.
Have a variety of gem slots to add. If you use multiple types of gear because you off-spec, it's even more of a burden. It's exactly what Blizzard said they really weren't going to introduce in the Shadowlands. And
surprise.
It feels like they were like, we need something for the Maw. Let's throw this in there. And I'm not a fan. I think if the Maw should exist, it should exist for fun, for upgrading Torghast and making that better. Totally fine with that. It's optional. No big deal. Doesn't really affect my character's performance without adding a really long and tedious grind. As I said, if the Eye of the Jailer reset weekly, it would be a much better pill to swallow because you could spread it out over the week. You could do an hour here, you could bash it all out on reset day, or you could just do some similar to Islands, similar to Warfronts. You can kind of just get them done whenever you feel like it.
So I think Preach is really what he's really trying to say is like kind of allow players, you know, like back in the day whenever they had like the daily heroic and then they changed daily heroic to you could do it the first 7 times of the week. So it was 1 per day. I think that's kind of what Preach is advocating for. And I can see how that makes sense.
And you're done for the
I definitely
can.
can.
Weekly lock off. Or added a Stygia cap. Something like that.
Yeah.
So that this isn't like an everyday thing.
Yeah.
That would be fine. Like a relevant cap or something along those lines to prevent this being a thing. Right now, it's a daily event. You can build to level 5. That takes a reasonable amount of time, by the way. It's based on how much Stygia you collect. So you can do it quicker. If you go with a group, you kill a lot of rares. Right now, they're dropping different amounts of Stygia, so it's hard to gauge the exact time that you would spend in there. But if you go in a group and you kind of know what you're looking for, then you could probably bash it out very, very quickly. Hit level 5.
Guys, like literally some guy in chat said, type 1 in chat if Asmongold is bald. And like everybody's just typing 1 in chat. Like, really? Is this where we're at, guys? Like, is this really where we're at?
As much Stygia as you can and then just leave. Doing that daily, though, definitely turns it into a less fun option. And this is one of those things that I really worry about in terms of player feedback. Because even though I could sit here and say, do you really need all gem slots on your alts? No, you don't. I don't need it. Nobody really needs it. But people want it.
People don't want to feel like their character's incomplete. I think that's really what it is. That's what kind of like these infinite grinds do, is they make you feel like your character's incomplete. In classic WoW, I think that's like one of the best things about the game is you can actually complete the game. And I feel like people, they enjoy that and they appreciate that.
And therefore comes the problem of, I really would like to have all gem slots on my character.
Check the subreddit. I will after this.
Visions to get gem slots. If
I
you're
said I
of that
would.
mind, this is going to turn into like daily visions. So not even limited by keys, just visions all the time. So we don't want that either, especially as they take longer, the visions to cap. So that's the Maw right now.
Oh.
Some really simple changes here could make this much better. I don't even think we need the gem slot vendor. I don't think it's necessary. I think gem slots should be a nice little bonus. If they are going to put them somewhere else. Make them more fun. Make it anima, so I can put anima into my sanctum, or I can put it into gaining gem slots. Because the sanctum upgrades are really just for
I'm okay with the gem slots from the Maw as long as they don't take forever. Like, the gems that you're able to get for from the visions just take forever, and they're just like, I mean, man, they're super fucking repetitive. It just drives you crazy. And like, also, I don't know, like it just takes way too fucking long. So like they either need to time gate it by like a weekly lockout with like a cap, like Valor points or something like that, or they just need to make it not take as long, because you have to get like every single, like you're gonna want to have every piece of gear with a gem socket on it.
Events and things that don't affect my character. So I have a choice. Do I want to invest this way, or do I want to invest that way? Limiting it all entirely to the Maw, making it daily, turning it into what people will feel
every day,
regardless of whether it is actually, but feel
they have
like
to do it.
Grind.
Yeah,
I am dead against. So there's the Maw, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.
I feel like the Maw has like such a weird fucking, it has like such a weird place in the game that it's trying to be part of. And I don't know exactly like what they can do to actually like make it work, but what I can say is like what they have been doing, I don't really think is that great, man. I'm not really that big of a fan of it. I mean, I just feel like they always try to do like these end game zones out in the world, but they always just end up sucking. And here's why they suck. Do you want to know why the end game zones suck? Is because they're fucking easy. Like every zone before, in Timeless Isle, you had those Ordos guys. And remember these Ordos guys? And they had the big fucking swords. And they would do like this. Let me make sure that I have this on frame. So they do like this. They would charge you, and they're like, ah, boom, and they hit you. And you're dead. You're just fucking dead. Because they do that much damage. So it's like, remember that one guy on the bridge to Hulan? And this one lone berserker, and you would be sitting there. It'd be like you here and like another guy right here, and you would both be sitting at this guy padding back and forth and waiting for the other guy to run past him so he would get aggro and you could ignore the mob because he would kill you every single fucking time. Fuck that berserker. Yeah. And the reason why it was hard is because they did more damage. And they were also hard to deal with. Like, those mobs were difficult to fight against. And you compare that to, like, the fucking Tanan jungle rares, which are a fucking joke. They are a fucking joke, man. They need to do a better job at making actual content that's challenging and difficult. And if they do that, I think that we're going to be in a much better place. That's what I would like to see the most, personally.